Well, hello.
Here we are, Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's gigantic budget zombie movie.
Yep.
Would you say the zombie horror subgenre is played out?
Oh, hell yes.
Maybe it's just reaching its pinnacle. I don't
No,
know.
well, I think for me as an individual, I've had it.
Yeah, but you've never liked zombie movies.
Never liked it, but I mean,
Why not?
It's just the idea of it. It's just creepy. I know that's the point.
Then it's perfect.
It's perfect, but it's become like vampires. It's too much saturation.
Zombie movies started in the 30s and 40s. White Zombie, I Walked with a Zombie, Bela Lugosi, old classic movies. And then it had its resurgence in the late 60s when George Romero did Night of the Living Dead, followed by Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
And those were good. I enjoyed
No, they were
enjoyed
great.
those.
And he
Yes.
also did Land of the Dead and Diary of the Dead, sadly before he died. And also the Return of the Living Dead movies, they were hilarious. Very cool take on the zombie
Oh,
genre.
well, that saw that way too young.
And The Evil Dead, of course.
Yeah.
Those movies are classics. Although, Deadites, undead, zombies, walkers, infected.
Yes.
It's
all the same.
All zombies at the end of the day. But it went 28 days later, 28 weeks later. Oh, obviously I had Resident Evil.
Yes.
A bunch of Resident Evil
I
movies.
think 28 Days Later was sort of for me, that was the last zombie movie that was exciting, that I really enjoyed, and it was super scary.
It was very realistic. It wasn't zombies, it's infected people that go crazy.
Yes. Much more believable than your sort of run-of-the-mill garden variety zombie flick.
Yeah. But I'd rather not have a fast zombie. I'd prefer a slow one strolling down there and I can just walk off. After the 28 days later and 28 weeks later, then all of a sudden it was fast zombies. And that is a problem. World War Z was the same thing. These zombies were hoarding and freaking running like crazy.
World War Z, they were fast and they were plenty.
Yes.
It was a double whammy.
Yeah. So now with Army of the Dead, these are also not lumbering, blubbering, dumbass zombies. These are
Organized.
intelligent, organized. So it's a whole nother. You have to cover all the bases. You've got zombie westerns. You've got every kind of zombie scenario you've now had, and obviously we have to mention The Walking Dead.
That's right.
TV series, which has now really made the whole zombie thing so mainstream that, where to from here?
Nowhere.
Except you get
Can't go anywhere further.
from there you go. You get Zack Snyder to make a super budget, over the top, very expensive, high profile zombie movie for Netflix.
Yes, and it was great. I thought the CGI was fantastic. It was super gory, exciting, entertaining.
But then you can now start digging into all the little bits and pieces that some people will not like and complain about. We'll dig into that.
Yes.
Okay, the cast of Army of the Dead. Obviously, main guy, Dave Bautista, big wrestling man.
If he hits it, this begins. Batista going for the Batista bomb, and he got him.
He surprised me.
Yeah, but he's been in some good. He's been, you always have your quiet 007 henchman. He's been that. He's been. He had a not big role, small role in the Blade Runner sequel.
Now, if you don't mind, if you could just look up and to the left, please.
And obviously, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, which I didn't see.
So he's shifted from being a big bulky wrestler to a high profile actor, and he's not bad. He's good.
No, he was
but
good.
now he cannot escape his large frame. So obviously he's perfect for a movie like this, where he plays one of a bunch of mercenaries, military people have to come in to sort out the situation in Vegas, which happened after a military incident. A truck rolls over,
Yeah, sort of-
something comes out.
Unknown sort of origin, what you can only sort of ascertain that it
Yeah.
comes from Area
Is it,
51.
is it like alien thing? Because the guys sit and have this discussion in the truck as they're driving. Ooh, what could it be?
Yes.
Could be military created. Point is, this thing gets out, starts biting people, and all of Vegas is covered in zombies in a matter of...
Yeah, they even have like a little montage of...
Yeah, and that's very, very Zack Snyder, like a slow motion, splattering stuff flying, little montage on them trying to contain the situation with these zombies taking over Vegas. So what they end up doing is they block off the entire main city area to keep this inside, and from there on, these guys who sorted out the problem, they go back to their lives, and Batista's kind of like down on his luck, and he had a bit of a serious family situation because of this.
Yeah, related to the whole...
Yeah, and he's estranged from his daughter, so then this businessman comes to him with a proposition to get a team together, go into one of the casinos where there are millions of dollars in a safe.
Yes, and at this stage, because you've got like a camp near the actual city limits that is used as a quarantined area, so people that they're not sure, are you turning, are you not turning, is situated outside of Vegas, and the people go into the city of Vegas to rob the slot machines.
People who need money to...
Because, and we've not said, because the government, can we say this, is planning to
Yes.
blow the entire thing up
The only
into
way for them to
smithereens.
sort it out is now just blow it off the face of the earth. So Batista's character, he needs to get a team together. You know, it's classic. It's the chopper pilot, it's the gun guy, there's one guy with a huge saw, there's a safe expert, it's this classic.
And then the sort of guy from the big honcho guy
to oversee the situation. So they need to make a plan to get in there, and obviously, like most movies, unfortunately, every time I watch a movie and I go, money again. It's always money. There's always someone who wants money, they need to get money, there's money. But when the Coen brothers do it, or when Guy Ritchie does it, it's fantastic.
Yeah, different story.
They really take it into a cool direction.
Different perspective.
But just the basic, we want money, go get the cash, and then obviously fails, people die, whatever. But here, obviously that is there as an impetus for them to get in there, to have lots of gory action.
Yes, and also the reason for Batista's daughter wanting to go in there, because one of the people in the quarantine camp has gone in there to try and rob a slot machine.
And they didn't come back.
But
he approached her to help them to get in.
Because she has a connection that has navigated the inside of the city.
So you can now
before.
expect that there's going to be like father, daughter, blah, 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 and that's not like added for the little emotional thing in between all the splattering zombie heads and stuff. So now when they get into this cordoned off city area, they realize that these aren't sort of bumbling, dribbling zombies.
No,
they're sort of high-functioning, kind of created a little
yes,
society.
and there's like an alpha queen and an alpha king. The alpha king is the guy that initially is the thing.
Is he the one that escaped, or is he the first one that got bitten?
No, he's the one that escaped.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're at this kind of Roman-themed hotel, which is their headquarters. So they've got this little Roman society.
And they've organized themselves as this little society. So they're not sort of stumbling around idiots.
But now these guys are there. They're sort of against the clock. They need to get in and get the cash, and obviously all little diversionary things happen. You've got your double crossers here. You've got your hotheads there. Your comedy relief here, which in the shape of Tig Notaro, which
wasn't really comedy relief.
Yeah, it was wisecracks. And if it wasn't there, it wouldn't have made a difference.
I'm sure if you are a fan of her stand-up, you would have enjoyed her.
Yeah, it's like this dry kind of...
I don't really know her, and I didn't really find that for me, she didn't really add anything, although I can imagine that.
Funny bit is, I don't like to get too much information before I watch something, because I still like to be surprised, and it's so hard to be surprised nowadays. I prefer to just go in watching whatever I watch without knowing anything. So when we finished the movie, we found out that she was actually a digital replacement for Chris D'Elia, who had some allegations against him, and they pulled him and they just erased him and reshot Tig and shoved her in there.
As easy as that.
And I didn't notice it at all.
At
so
all.
It was a nice surprise afterwards. So yeah, she's a chopper pilot. They get in. There's a chopper on the ceiling, on the roof of the hotel, which she needs to fly back.
Well, she first needs to fix this thing
Yeah.
because it's broken. So they needed her, but she's a mechanic and a chopper pilot.
And there's no power in the building, so they need to go in there with their cans of gas. They fill up this generator for power, but yeah, one can of diesel of whatever into the thing. It powers this entire casino with freaking slot machines, a billion lights.
Yes.
You know, one of those little crappy little things. Just like when they go in there with inside this vault, there's like 5 pallets of cash.
That's right.
But they fit all of that into like 3 bags.
A backpack.
Hey, we got all the cash. So, you know,
That's Hollywood
maybe
for you.
it's TARDIS bags.
I think
They
that's
got these
just,
TARDIS bags from Doctor Who.
yeah.
Okay, but entertaining,
For sure.
definitely.
Yes.
Over the top, yes.
Yes.
Silly, yes. It's got all of that.
Great CGI, very gory.
And you know, I mean, when I was 15, I would have
Wow.
I was screaming for a movie like this.
That's right.
So now when we get to see this now, are we now going to like complain about and say, oh, yes, but what about this and what about that?
Never.
Like the Queen arriving there like she's from Cirque du Soleil, posing and jumping and landing like a superhero.
It has to be said, while the two main characters of the zombie people, the Alpha King and Queen, they're beautiful athletes, and you can see like
It's
under
so
everything they're beautiful
overly
people.
acted.
They did overact these parts into oblivion. It looked like a striker pose competition
Yeah.
between the two of them. And then there was also, they did hint at a very cool sort of an idea of a time loop concept for the story, which I think if they had gone with that sort of concept, I think it would have been a far more cerebral, intelligent film. But that's not the, I mean, no disrespect, but I don't think that was the audience they were after.
Yeah. You know, but it's a case of Netflix makes so much money for them to put a ton of cash into making a movie. I don't think it makes a difference to them if anyone watches it, because just the amount of subscribers they have
Pays for it.
it
Yes,
covers
yes.
that.
Look, it was a good movie in terms of if you are a zombie fan. Yes, I wouldn't say that it's for the zombie connoisseur. It's
but
bubblegum zombie.
What is a zombie connoisseur?
No, you'll find those.
Those only like George Romero zombie movies, and that's it.
But I don't think this sort of film would appeal to that sort of viewer.
I don't know. I'm that viewer, and it was fine for me. I mean, I won't freak out and go, it's my favorite movie ever.
No.
It's entertaining, and you watch it and it's forgotten. Although it's very long for
Yes,
that kind of movie.
That's right. It was. We're not going to give the plot away. I think
we have already.
No.
But not the outcome.
No, not the outcome. Another thing that we might add is that while they went into the city thinking they had like 24 hours to do this job,
Yeah, all of a sudden the time frame got shrunk.
the time frame got shrunk significantly.
But they still had lots of gas in the generator to run this entire freaking casino.
Yes.
Lights flashing everywhere.
All the slot machines are
Very
working.
slow. Anyway, you know, minor things. I mean, what do you do? Do you just complain, or do you watch it and feel entertained?
You watch it and you feel entertained.
Yeah. You don't need to read any philosophical stuff
No.
in there, except for that possible time loop thing. It's just filmmakers make choices, and it might not sit comfortably with you, but that's, you know,
It's irrelevant.
they're making the movie. They're putting all the risk in. If you know, you're not having any risk in this movie.
No.
You didn't put any cash into it. you know, so
Yeah.
if you don't like it, well,
Then you don't like
you can't win them all.
For me, if you're a fan of the director, if you're a fan of the zombie genre, for sure, watch it. It's great. You'll enjoy it.
One thing I wanted to mention was with the zombie alpha queen or whatever they're called. She reminded me so much of the Romero character in Escape from New York, John Carpenter's movie. Sort of the movements, and even he's got his eyes are just a bit too far apart. He's a bit reptilian.
Yeah.
It just, for some reason, it just reminded me so much of that guy.
Yeah. I must say that it was distracting. It was distracting, the Alpha King and Queen. There was even a CGI tiger.
A CGI tiger.
A zombie tiger, which is an interesting idea.
It's a goddamn zombie tiger. That's crossing the line.
Ribs and bits sticking out. I mean, it's eventually, it looks like he's on the verge of flopping off his bones.
That's right.
And that's another thing. What do these zombies eat now that they're all contained in this area?
Buffet.
Just like
Vegas
Walking
buffet.
Dead. There are no more people left to be eaten. So now, how do these guys still stagger about?
Yeah, it's a good question.
And their blood is still liquid. I guess it's science that I don't understand.
It's Hollywood, baby. It's Hollywood.
Yes. And what if someone like Dario Argento made this movie?
Oh, it'd be a different movie altogether.
But would it have been worse or better, I mean, with that kind of budget, there's so much riding on it. What do you do? Okay, would rather let the guy who did Batman versus Superman
Absolutely.
and executive produced almost all of the DC comic book movies,
Yes.
maybe get him to do it.
Yes.
So yeah, Zack Snyder, the first time I encountered him was with his remake of Dawn of the Dead, incidentally. So his zombie movie making experience has now gone full circle. He did music videos and stuff before he did Dawn of the Dead. And I was a bit dubious, thinking, oh, that's such a classic. To take that on, you must be very ballsy.
He did a good job at the end of it.
And yeah, it turned out well. But apparently this storyline was apparently supposed to be a Dawn of the Dead sequel plot. Possible.
Interesting.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So now it's a thing of its own, and it's obviously going to go beyond this one movie. And thought it was going to be kind of prequel movies, but it looks like it's going to be a series titled Last Vegas.
As
So,
it always is.
They didn't show anything leading up to it, so they can.
No, there's lots
they
to
can go
explore
mad.
in terms of the storyline. Absolutely.
Or they can stuff it up. Who knows? Because people are so divided about this movie.
But go see it. It's good. Or go watch it on Netflix. It's good.
Yeah, if you don't have Netflix, get Netflix. They're not paying us. Hey, Netflix, give us some
our
plug.
subscription free.
Give us some plug cash. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have to rate it. I was sort of shifting between, it's visually cool, but at the end of the day, it just feels very popcorny, although it's extremely gory. So it's a kind of a contradiction. But I thought I would give it a 6 out of 10 eyeballs.
I have to be true to how I feel both about the genre in general and how I feel about this movie. I can understand the entertainment value of it, and I really think that the effort that went into it is great, but unfortunately I have to give it a 3.
A 3. The Zack Snyder groupies are shiting their pants.
Sorry.
So a 6 and a 3, it's a 9, so it's a 4.5 average. 4 or 5 out of 10. Yeah, okay, the zombie genre, you reckon it's played out?
Absolutely.
I think it still has a place. At the Horrorfest, we've screened so many zombie movies. Good ones. We've screened Zombieland, that's another one we didn't mention earlier.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, the originals, and interesting low-budget indie movies that you'd never heard of. People send them in, and if they're cool, we screen them. Obviously, we get loads of zombie movies that unfortunately don't make the cut, short films and feature films.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's going to be there forever, like vampires,
Unfortunately.
I guess. Subscribe, like, comment, tell us if you agree with us, if you disagree, which zombie movies you like, which you don't like.
Yeah, let us know. Cool.
Catch you later.